Good afternoon. Here's the extended look at our weather here in the Ozarks. As you already know, we're going to go through a big change. I'll talk a lot about that here coming up. But first, let's take a look at our rather innocent weather pattern now. We are enjoying fully sunny skies here in the central United States. We're looking at clouds to our northwest and down to our south. This is a pretty good area of showers and thunderstorms that will bring a lot of rain to coastal areas, Louisiana, New Orleans. I'll show you that here in a minute. Then the front is located up here, and it has some jet stream cloudiness behind it. If we switch to radar, there's not a lot going on anywhere really in connection with that front. But one clue is that the showers that are developing are post-front or behind the front. That's going to be important because when that front comes to town, that's what it's going to do for us. So let's go ahead and turn on a couple of things here. This is the GFS forecast model. It's 500 millibar heights, or the winds at about 18,000 feet, and surface temperatures is what we're looking at here. So if you want to know what the winds are doing aloft, just kind of imagine they're flowing through these channels like this. So I'll put this into motion. This is valid tonight. And then I want to watch the color bands. This is the temperature pattern. So for tomorrow, this is about noon, we are basking still in 70-degree air. That's the orange color, almost 80-degree air. In fact, it does show up as an 80-degree little patch there from Joplin down to around Tulsa. That's that red. But look at the front. Very sharp transition approaching Kansas City late tomorrow afternoon. Let's advance that a little bit more here. You can see that front marches through pretty much in the wee hours of the morning from midnight on basically Wednesday into Thursday. And a very, very different day in the Ozarks for us. Now, notice the 500 millibar flow is starting to cut off. I've been hearing about that. That's the circulation around this feature right here. And it's curious. Watch what happens to the temperature pattern. Again, you're looking at the color filled in bands. This is for Thursday. Now getting into the early morning hours of Friday, some 30-degree temperatures. That's the lighter blue, that cold core of air aloft. But what's interesting is that by, let's say, this is Saturday morning as an example. This thing is so wrapped up that warm air is actually coming in around the northern side of it, while colder air is coming in around the back. So it's conceivable that Arkansas will be chillier than, let's say, St. Louis on Saturday because of this effect. So these cutoff lows bring cold air, but they don't really reinvent it. They just kind of move it around. That's good news for frost concerns and freezing, in that we'll have wind, we'll have cloud cover, we'll have a kind of a warming wrapping in around the center of this, but it will be a chilly period and a showery period as well, with that cold air aloft and any breaks in the clouds that might happen to occur. Showers will pop up rather readily. And then I'll just go ahead and advance this through the weekend. That thing just kind of cuts off over Arkansas. That's one model solution. There could be a more northern track to this. But notice that, let's say during the day, we're starting to get back into 50-degree range temperatures. That's the green on there. Even this model indicating a patch of 60s on the northern end of that. So it's not all bad. It's just going to be around for a while. This is late in the weekend now into early next week. Finally, this low decides to meander along, and we get a warmer pattern of air. And look now, the Bismarck will be warmer early next week than we will be, but we'll lose the effects of that gradually going into next week. I also want to talk about the month of April. Comes to an end here, and this has been our crazy temperature pattern. I estimated the high today at 82 degrees, but look at the four very distinct cold periods, cold shots of air that we had to deal with during the month, with several lows in that 32-degree range, 3 times below freezing, 31, 3 times there in the month, and also some warm spurts, lots of 70s and 80s in there. So it's been an interesting month as well, and it looks like May will at least start warm tomorrow, but the next couple of days after that, very, very chilly indeed.